Can I talk more about OCPD, aka Obsessive Compulsive Personality Disorder, and how it shows up in my life? I absolutely can, and as soon as TikTok enables me to get series going, I will put all of my OCPD videos into one singular playlist. Also, Cash App is CGeneM. Venmo is CharlesGene13 if you want to send a little tip over. But for me, Obsessive Compulsive Personality Disorder, if I could best describe it, it is oftentimes the stereotype of what others think OCD is, which in and of itself, having both can be infuriating. Because when people hear OCD, they think of someone that needs to have all of the pillows on their bed just right, and they need to constantly be clean and have, not a thread off or out of place on their clothing. And that is oftentimes more so what OCPD looks like, because it is an obsessive need for control, perfection, and order in every aspect of your life. And it's going to be constituted by rigidity and stubbornness. So for me, that means my own personal definition of perfection is what defines my actions, and I never want to let myself down. So I'm very meticulous. I have a very, very black and white way of thinking. I'm very hyper-vigilant when it comes to my morals and ethics. It means that I can be incredibly vain. I take great pride in my appearance. It means that I am constantly wanting to learn and grow so that I can know a lot. I like being someone that's one of the smartest in the room, and I'm very seldom one of the smartest in the room. But it's all of these notions of what I think perfection is. Someone that's well-educated and minds their manners and looks good and is confident and artistic and etc. that I try to embody. The downside being it's a cluster C anxiety disorder. So I don't actually believe that I am perfect. I mean, I sometimes do. It is more so, cluster C is an the anxiety cluster of personality disorders. And so, it is more so operating with a high set of standards and a very meticulous, anxious way of accounting for yourself and others around you so that you never make a mistake, so that you never are imperfect, which we know is not true. And so my lived experience is a lot of mental hoops, a lot of strain on my relationships. It's very easy for me to cut people off or drop people from my life if they cross a line that I have viewed as being crossed. When I make a decision, I'm incredibly stubborn in it. I very seldom go back on my word. But I also am the type of person who, with my mental gymnastics, I very seldom lie. I try to make sure that I only open my mouth if I know that I'm correct, if I can back up what I'm saying. I try to keep my word. And if I say I'm going to do something, it means I'm going to do it. Very dedicated to hierarchy and authority when it comes to what my job is and workplaces. So professionally, it can deliver high results, but there's definitely a strain on interpersonal relationships and an underlying anxiety and hypervigilance that I don't think people see. I, again, describe it as the opposite of being a narcissist in a way. Narcissistic people often believe that everything they do and say is innately perfect. They can do no wrong, and so they just get to exist, and who cares who's affected? I am the opposite in my OCPD. I am so wanting to be perfect that I do everything in my power to avoid any flaws or mistakes, because that ultimately means trauma and means drama and confrontation, which I'm going to avoid at all costs. It's a little ramble for you. If you scroll through my TikTok, or I'm sure if you search Charm or Charles Gene OCPD, I have a couple other videos talking about various other aspects of the topic, because no one else is doing it. That's not true. There's a couple of us out here, but I am trying to share my lived experience. So thank you for the comment and question. I hope this ramble made sense. Give a follow for more musings and thoughts, etc.